Our tech expert, Chris Abel, joins us with the latest from the tech world. Some of it, I often say that I'm afraid the rise of the machines. I watch too much Terminator 2, but we've got some really interesting, actually, could be really useful stuff. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Yes.
I love this first story because Google so Google AI is working on potentially helping us get assistance in our homes. And we're talking about for like everyday practical things. Explain.
Okay. So we're seeing an incredible explosion in terms of robots entering into the world. China last year had over 300,000 new robots enter the marketplace, 34,000 robots enter the marketplace in the United States, 4,000 here in Canada. And so most of these are for factories, but a lot of companies are getting ready to have these enter into our home. Google realizes that much like Microsoft had great success coming up with Windows for computers, they could come up with software for all these robots. And what they're doing is they want to take all these robots and give them the intelligence of the assistants that we have on our phones. You think of Alexa, you think of Siri. Google has Gemini on their smartphones. And so they've come up with Gemini Robotics. And so all these companies that are creating these humanoid robots can load Gemini into the humanoid robot, and it gives them the ability to become smart assistants. So one example is you're on your way to work, and then you happen to notice that your bag's a little heavier than normal. You look inside, and there's an umbrella. How did it get there? Well, the humanoid robot in your house checked the weather report before you left, noticed it was going to rain, and then went over to your bag and made sure to place an umbrella in there for you.
That is amazing and also a little bit terrifying. Wait, I think you sent over some sound. Can we play that? Jim, should we play that now? Let's go.
So just to set this up.
Yeah, set it up.
One of the things that you can do is that with Gemini is you can take a robot into an area in your home, say a desk or workspace that you've just finished tidying up, and you can say to the robot, remember the way I have this. Then later on when it's a mess, bring the robot in and it'll tidy it up for you. And so here's an example. They've asked the robot to explain, okay, how are you going to clean up my space?
Can you reset the scene, please?
Based on the changes, I need to close the laptop, close the glasses case, put the green pen back in the brown tray, and place the red and blue pens back into the black mesh holder. The scene has been restored to its original state.
Thank you, Aloha.
Chris, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking about my kids' playroom and the explosion of toys every day. This would be a game changer. But this isn't happening yet. They're working on the technology, sort of the capacity to think, but they're not building the robots themselves, right?
Correct. Google's not building the robots. They don't need to. There are close to 20, 30 different robot companies out there that are making these humanoid robots. We're seeing, I think it's now 3 companies that all have ones that are actually available commercially. The robot store in Montreal actually has a humanoid robot that you can buy. So it's a case of just loading into the Gemini software into it. That's where we're getting to. It's happening very quickly. It's something that's going to be something available very soon. A couple of other quick tricks that it can do is that the humanoid robot will have, with Gemini, will be able to look things up on the internet. So it can, there's already 2 robots that can fold laundry for you. Well, with Gemini, it can actually sort your laundry based off of clean, whites and darks, but also to check the internet and know what the actual conditions for laundry for different types of clothes are. When it sorts out your recycling, it can actually check what your local municipal rules are for recycling, and then change, in terms of sorting up the cans and the pot and the bottles and things like that.
Chris, what will we do with all our free time? That's amazing. That is incredible. Okay, we have to talk now about news for Xbox fans, by the way. A portable game system? What exactly is happening here?
Yeah, this is fun. A couple of years, more than a couple of years ago, I predicted the death of research in motion, and that got me a lot of attention. Afterwards, I had so many news agencies that would contact me and say, can you predict the death of this? Camera companies, watch companies? No. Those companies aren't going to disappear. They all wanted me to predict that portable game systems were no longer going to be something that you'd want to buy because you get smartphones. That's not true. People love having a dedicated system just to play video games on. And so on October 16th, Xbox is releasing a system called the Xbox Ally. It's got a 7-inch screen on it. It can play both Xbox and PC games, but also games that you download or stream, much like you would stream movies and videos. It's going to sell at a starting price of $800. We'll see whether this is something that people are willing to spend money on. Yeah, I mean, yes, if you have a smartphone or a tablet, then you already have a portable game system, as it were. But Microsoft is saying people want something that's dedicated specifically just for playing video games and only video games.
That's really cool. 800 though. We'll see if that price changes a little bit. Okay, you have to explain this next story to me. The Force in Star Wars. The Force is real now, apparently.
I love this. I absolutely love this. This is something that makes me laugh, but I think it's fantastic. So a company called Carter, they make smart carts for warehouses. So if you work in a warehouse, you constantly push around a cart, put stuff on the cart, put stuff back onto the shelves, that kind of thing. And then the carts get pushed over to the wall. Well, these carts have some degree of robotics on them. They have cameras that can actually scan and see their environment and kind of do things like that. So somebody came up with a very smart, goofy thing where they trained the cart to be able to recognize when someone is standing across the room and they perform what's called the force pull gesture from Star Wars.
Wow.
This is when a Jedi holds up their hand and then a lightsaber comes to their hand
automatically.
I'm
doing it now, yeah.
Right. And so they've done it so that when you do that, the cart will recognize that and then come rolling over towards you and place its handle in your hand for you.
That's amazing.
So this is something that for workers, I worked in a warehouse and I have to say that I would pretend to do this. Reach up my hand and like, come to me.
I love it.
Now they actually will do this. And so that makes me laugh.
I love it. Chris, remind everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at chrisabel.com, KRISABEL. Also, real Chris Abel on all my socials.
Chris Abel, it's always a pleasure. We'll chat again next weekend.
All right. Take care.